Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be installing a Whiteline Anti-Lift Kit for the front control arms. I'm going to be removing the wheels, so I already jacked up the car here. And this is the kit that I'm going to be installing. I watched some video from the Camper guys and also I read the instructions, so it should be fairly straightforward. Again, this is just a little kit that gives you a little bit of caster by offsetting the hole for the front control arms, so it makes it theoretically a bit more stable at high speeds and potentially give a better feedback through the steering wheel. According to the manual, after installing this kit, you should experience dramatically improved traction, reduce understeer, increase negative dynamic camber, increase vehicle stability and steering feedback. Hopefully it's all happening, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna go for a test drive after installing. Since I put on wider wheels, the steering feel on the actual wheel became lighter. And I had the same experience even with installing wider wheel on my other car as well. So I think it's so normal. So installing this kit should bring it back a little bit. Anyway, let's get into it. I already checked up the car. I'm going to be removing the wheels and then the arms, and I think the only part that requires a little bit of labor is really removing the old rubber part, which needs to be sawed off. I don't have an angle grinder, but I'm gonna be doing it manually. So if you don't have an angle grinder and you're not practical with it, probably this is a fairly good tutorial hopefully for you. The anti-lift kit is pretty much a bush that will replace this one, so we'll have to sort of saw it off when we take it out. So we'll have to remove this whole thing. I think it's just 3 bolts, so 2 here and 1 here. Actually 4. And then I think we can just get rid of this. And 3 bolts here and 1 here. So that should be really it. Hopefully no bolts snap. 17. Yeah, so they're all 17. Alright, that was easy. Those are pretty thick bolts, so they hopefully shouldn't snap. Alright, this one's off. There's actually a bit of weight saving as well for this thing, which is in the front and I like. Right, this one is also out. I'll leave it there until I remove those ones. Probably those ones I'll try to do manually. They're smaller and yeah, I just don't want to risk snapping them.
A few moments later.
I'll have to remove this whole thing because otherwise I can't really access this bolt without removing this front cover. Alright, this one's off. Alright, so now we need to remove this one and then our kit is gonna replace that with this one. So effectively this one is a little bit offset, off center. So I'll give a little bit of a caster angle. We have to saw off this one, so I don't have an angle grinder. So I'm probably just gonna use a old school manual saw.
2,000 years later.
Saw is not really working. This rubber is really rubbery, so to speak. So once you start getting deep, it's really hard to saw it. I'm gonna try to give it a go with my little Dremel and see if it improves.
A few moments later.
First little cut through the rubber.
I'm just gonna show this one. It's basically one piece with the metal, so the rubber and the metal are pretty much together.
So basically it's like they glue it to the metal when they make it. Normally what they'd do is they'd get like a hot cylinder, they'll put it on the inside of this bush and they'll heat up the metal so it expands, and then they slip it on.
Yeah, that'll make sense, and that's why it's not coming out.
Yeah.
Confirming, you can't really do this one without a grinder or some other cutting tool.
That's it.
Just the hand saw doesn't do it.
Have to try and not destroy the arm underneath. That's the hard part.
I think, yeah.
See, yep, so that's sort of started to separate it now.
Yep. There you go.
That's it.
Second one done.
That's it.
So if you got the tools, it's probably like a 10 minutes job.
Yeah.
These ones, we're finally ready to put the control arms back on. So basically we're gonna use these ones. As you can see, the offset is gonna go on the outside, so it's gonna push the arm a little bit on the outside to give a bit more caster. And they come with those plates as well. They come with some high performance bushing lubricant. So we're just gonna apply that, particularly on this side because the control arm is gonna go on this side as well. I also cleaned the control arms, don't ask me why, but I just like to have it clean. This one is the right one, so this one is going on the outside. So I'm just gonna put this bolt on first, so it will be easy to keep it aligned, as the tutorial shown by the camp dog guys. And then this one's got a bit of a longer hole, seems to be working on the inside. So the bolts that come with the kit are actually longer, so you can actually put them on easily. They come with washers as well. Well, just a little bit tricky to put this one back in place, probably because the steering has moved. In terms of torque, I think Agadagas is the way here.
A few moments later.
All right, let's go for a drive and see how this anti-lift kit feels. So the first thing that you can feel, and I say you can definitely feel, is the steering being a little bit harder. That's the immediate feel. So I guess that also translates into increased feeling. Second thing that I'm experiencing now, so for example on this turn, the steering, it's a bit more stable throughout the turn, and that seems to be true for both slow and fast corners. I think that's more beneficial in fast corners because you're a bit more stable, particularly when there's more vibration and higher speed. The steering being a bit more firmer, it's much better. The problem of this car is that the steering rack ratio is very, very long. This translates obviously in very poor feedback, in the steering being too soft, obviously, but also in the fact that for doing tight turns you need to turn a lot, and you get to the point where you need to change your position on the handle, and that happens too frequently. So I'm not too sure if the Glanza actually has a quicker steering rack, so if it does, let me know in the comment if you know, because I'm very, very curious. But even going on a straight line, the steering feels firmer, which is what this car needed. So I'm honestly very, very surprised on the difference that this thing made. Little kit, but even in tight turns, it's more stable actually. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like, subscribe. If you didn't, subscribe. If you like my Stamina sunglasses, also subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.